Starfield is nominated for one category. You guys want me to vote? Is it time to vote? Time to go on and vote on this shit. We take a look and see what the nominees are, see who the winners and who the losers are, and kind of just go from there. All right, well, let's take a look at it. We've got nominees. Vote for or view this year's nominees. Find out the winners live on December 7. That's one month from now. All right, start voting, okay? So, Game of the Year. So we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, wasn't Resident Evil 4 a remake? I feel like they should have put Final Fantasy 16 here. I do. I think it's silly that a remake is going to take the place of Final Fantasy 16. Armored Core 6, the truth is Armored Core 6 is very niche. Like, maybe I would put it instead of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But I do think that, I mean, Final Fantasy 16 should be on here. What are we going to vote, guys? Oh, I wonder. It's obviously fucking Baldur's Gate 3. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. I haven't played the game, and I know it's the game of the year, okay? Like, and I'm not saying, like, personally, I haven't played it, so I don't know if it's my game of the year. I'm not sure. What's been my game of the year? I don't know. I have no idea. Classic World of Warcraft? Like, what the fuck? Because I haven't played a lot of new games, so it's like, what am I really even going to say, right? And Quality of Games is so much worse for the last year except for Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, I don't know about that. I heard really good things about Alan Wake 2. I heard really great things about Resident Evil, Legend of Zelda. Spider-Man, I heard a lot of mixed messaging about it. And, yeah, I feel like we've had a lot of great games this year. Even Diablo 4 has been... I've enjoyed the game. Is it the greatest game? No, but I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. So, yeah. Now, let's be honest, guys. Here are some smaller games that I really wish they could have put on, like, I wish... Jesus! I restarted the PC before this. That's why it happened. I had to restart it to install Valorant. Those are all my other ones. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, like, AA or under games of the year. Number 1, Remnant 2, HoloCure, Halls of Torments. Let's see here. Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts, I mean, I don't think it's really, like, it's not up there in my opinion, but, like, yeah, sure. Armored Core 6, Lies of P, Honkai Star Rail. I know a lot of people don't like that game, but there's also a lot of people that do. Diablo 4, I'm not going to put Diablo 4 in this category. Needy Streamer Overload? No, that game's been out for years, bro. I played that 2 years ago. Lords of the Fallen? Yeah. I didn't like it, but, you know, it should be there, right? A lot of other people thought it was good. Hi-Fi Rush. Did that come out? I thought it came out last year. No, it didn't. Because I remember I played it after, Hogwarts Legacy. Hi-Fi Rush. Blasphemous 2. Let's see, FF16. I mean, like, these are, like... So, this would be me. What would I do? I would take, if I was the one that made this, I would take Resident Evil and Super Mario Brothers off the list, and I would replace it with Armored Core 6 and Final Fantasy 16. Personally. Like, the new Super Mario Brothers game is nice, but I don't really view this as, like, a massive transformative thing that moves the game forward, right? That's my personal opinion, right? And I haven't played Spider-Man, so I'm not sure, but I heard the game was, like, very short. Some people were disappointed, but I'm sure it's very good for what it is, right? Armored Core 6 was also very short, to be fair. But I would love to see if, like, Jeff and them, like, next year, it would be so nice if we could have, like, another Game of the Year category for developers that are not AAA developers. So, like Remnant 2, HoloCure, Halls of Torment, Armored Core 6, Lies of P. I think 100% we need to have another Game of the Year category. A Battle Bit. Yeah, a Battle Bit. Larian isn't AAA, and that's the thing, right? Is like, you're right that Larian isn't AAA, but like, Baldur's Gate 3 was so much of an anomaly that I would be willing to make it entirely like, it was, like, I think you can transcend it, but I still think there should be something for, like, those publishers that don't have that many resources. So, yeah, they are now, exactly. Yeah, so basically, this is, I would love to see a Game of the Year for AA games and under. Let's see what else they have. Okay, so that, yeah, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win this. It is what it is, right? You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Let's go on to the next one. Best Game Direction. I think that probably, and this is going to be kind of like a, like, I'm not going to vote for Baldur's Gate 3 2 times. So, like, yeah, sure, like, I'm not sure. But I kind of like what they did, at least what I've seen so far with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I actually think Super Mario Bros. Wonder should win this. But, I have not played Alan Wake. So, okay, let me talk about why I think that is. I like the multiplayer options that Super Mario Bros. Brings in. I also like the fact that it got rid of the timer like we watched that video for. And I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder is trying to reinvent what being a side-scroller Mario game really is. And they're doing it in a way that's, I think, kind of big. So that's why I think that. And I think also this is game direction. So, like, what I'm voting on here is, like, this is where I think this game has made, like, a lot of leaps forward that are healthy for, like, the genre. Because, like, we can all agree Tears of the Kingdom isn't getting it, right? Because, again, I haven't played it, but everybody that's talked about this, has told me about this, it's basically Breath of the Wild with building, right? So, like, it's not transformative in a big way. So, yeah, it's not incredible. I'm sure it's going to be great if I ever play it, but, like, I still think what I'm saying is true. Mario Wonder is literally just Mario. Well, I think that, like, the little innovations and changes they made were good, especially for something that's so old. And also, you know, it's very different compared to the previous one. So, yeah, why would you not award them? In this game, we should just give Baldur's Gate 3 all the awards. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think it just makes it more interesting. Best Narrative. Final Fantasy... As much as I like the Final Fantasy 16 narrative, I already like the Cyberpunk narrative way more. Like, these are the only two that I've played. So, like, and like, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2. So, I don't really understand how good these are. And again, like, I'm not going to vote for Baldur's Gate 3 on everything, because I just think it's Game of the Year, period. Right? So, I think it makes it more interesting conversation to talk about other games besides that. Personally, I think Final Fantasy 16 story... I think it was very good. I liked it a lot. But, like, I think about Final Fantasy 16, like, every once in a while, you know? Like, I'll think about that game. I think about the Cyberpunk story, like, at least once every other day. It's just, it's so visceral and good. I really think it's incredible. And so, yeah, why don't you play Baldur's Gate 3? I didn't say I won't play it. I just haven't played it yet. That's all. When are you going to play it again? At some point. Only matters, award that matters is Game of the Year. All other awards are meaningless. Well, I'm sure that's not what the people that win the awards think. Anyway, so yes. I personally, outside of Baldur's Gate 3, of all the games here that I've played, I would say Cyberpunk would be my winner, right? To be fair, though, I have not played Baldur's Gate 3 or Alan Wake 2. Let's see here. Best Art Direction. Ooh. Okay, well, these two are out, right? Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda are out. It's so hard to compare these two, right? Lies of P is just Bloodborne. I think that Lies of P... We've played a lot of games now from Unreal Engine 5, right? And I would say that a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games have, like, a sameness to them. And do you guys know what I'm talking about whenever I say this? Yes, okay, good. Lies of P kind of has that. Now, it doesn't have that entirely, and I think that it's unique in its own way. Yes, I am actually going to give it to Lies of P, because I started looking at it from a different perspective, and I think that, yes, they deserve it. And let me go ahead and talk about why. Hi-Fi Rush is basically just a cyberpunk cartoon. That's what it basically is. We've seen a lot of games like this, a lot of, a type of, media like this. It's very common. Alan Wake 2, again, it's just so hard to compare the two, right? Because one's horror, the other one's not. But anyway, here's why I think Lies of P deserves it. I think Lies of P deserves it because they changed a extremely niche, extreme artistic niche. Who the fuck does Pinocchio stuff? What the fuck is this? It's not even a thing. Yeah, it's Robot Bloodborne? No, it's not, though. It's really not Robot Bloodborne. So Del Toro does. Yeah, sure. But, what I'm saying is that, I mean, if you want to have, a Pan's Labyrinth or something like that, I think that is a unique art direction for a game. And I think that the puppet element of Lies of P is something that almost no game has really explored. And I think the artistic integration into the game systems of Lies of P, especially with the puppet arm and everything else about it, it's the Victorian cyberpunk style is, I think, very unique. And I don't think that we've seen a lot of games like this. Now, have we seen a game like this in the past? Of course, there have been games like this that have existed before. But I think Lies of P has a very, very cool style of art. I like it a lot, and I think about the different bosses, right? Because I was thinking Simon Manus, the Archbishop was really cool. The Jester, those fucking hellish jesters that you would have to fight, those were so cool. And the fat clowns, Romeo, and the Puppet King, right? That was so cool. So yeah, I mean, I actually do really think Lies of P deserves best art direction. It's a unique style that we haven't really seen explored at all before. Now, obviously, we've seen it explored tangentially. What you've seen with Bloodborne, or you've seen with something like Pan's Labyrinth. But this is a very interesting meshing of those styles, and I like it a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Lies of P for best art direction. Best score and music. I think Final Fantasy 16 had really good music. I'm just trying to think about... Yeah, I liked it. Atomic Heart. It's not even on here. Hi-Fi Rush, audio... I mean, the music here was okay, but I also played the copyright-free version, so I didn't really get a chance to experience the game entirely. I like the Final Fantasy music a lot. I've heard some music from these other games, but personally, I love the Final Fantasy music. The thing with the Final Fantasy music is that it's built to go with the game in a way that I think almost no other game does. It's going back, it's the difference between, going from, the music in Final Fantasy to the music in WoW with, the boss fights. It's like watching Rings of Power and then watching Lord of the Rings. That's how big of a difference I think it is. It's just so phenomenal. It's amazing. So yeah, I think Final Fantasy 16 deserves this. At least from what I've heard. I haven't heard everything from... I've never played Zelda, so what do I know? Best audio design. I really can't comment on this. What do you guys think? Yeah, I really actually can't comment on this. I think Hi-Fi Rush has great audio design. Resident Evil 4, you guys are very positive about Resident Evil 4. I'll take your word for it. Again, I'm not really an expert here. So yeah, best audio design. All right, that sounds good. Yo, what if Warzone or PUBG was on this? I feel like one of these years they should just put on Warzone or PUBG on one of these. Holy fuck! All right, next. Best performance. Ben Starr. Oh, this guy played Clive. This guy, obviously, Cal Kestis. Idris Elba, Cyberpunk. I don't know. I didn't play this one. I'm not sure. I mean, to be fair, I think if you asked people that didn't play Baldur's Gate 3 who they're, like, what character is the most recognizable, it would be Astarion. If you ask Coomers, it would probably be Shadowheart, right? But or that other, the fire girl, Karlach, I think that's her name. And, but yeah, I think Astarion is probably he has probably the most interesting personality. And I think that interesting personality is created by a voice actor, so maybe you guys are right. And, like, it's kind of a weird thing, right? Where, like, I personally think the guy that played Cal Kestis for Jedi Survivor did a great job. I think the guy that played Clive, Ben Starr here, I think he did a great job. So I don't really have anything negative to say. But yeah, I think that if you take a character that's, like, totally unique, nobody really knows who Astarion is, right? And you give him, like, such a great personality, and that's, a big reason for that is, like, the person's voice. Then yeah, I think that maybe he deserves that. Giselba was insane talent. Yeah, but, like, he's also playing a character that looks like him. And, like, it's kind of hard to compare, like, an A-list, very well-known actor, to, like, other voice actors, especially whenever the character he's playing is basically him in the game. So, like, it's very hard for me to compare the two. I feel like it's kind of, like, not fair, right? Because, like, everybody, you ask anybody, like, any normal person, well, they're going to vote for him because everybody knows him, right? Nubon is him? Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Yuri might be my favorite Spider-Man. Yeah, I just don't know about that. Next. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and hardware that's pushing the medium forward. Technology to help gamers be played with an even wider audience. I cannot comment. I think Diablo 4 should not win this, 100%. Because, like, the amount of color overlaps is horrible, and the fact that they don't have WASD just hurts for accessibility. Like, how many of you guys having to do click to move all the time, your wrist starts hurting after a while? Yeah. I don't think we should vote Diablo 4 for this. Hi-Fi Rush had some pretty interesting stuff. Maybe Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know, because I'm not sure about these other games. I don't really play fighting games. The only experience I have with these games is I've watched DSP play these games. That's literally it. Street Fighter wins this by sure for the way. The players learn through the campaign. It's good. Modern controls, easy to pick up for non-fighting games. Okay. I think that what they mean by accessibility is, like, how many disabled people can play the game. But I see what you're saying. Street Fighter 6, even blind people can play it? Well, I mean, if that's the case, then Street Fighter 6 should win, right? I mean, fuck. Yeah, again, like, I'm just not experienced in that. Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I haven't played a single one of these. I think these are video games for people with feelings. So I'm not really the target audience here. Yeah, this is the woke category. I remember a Goodbye Volcano High. This was just basically a furry game, right? Like, I mean, that's literally what it was. That's all it was. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and move on. Best ongoing game. Outstanding development, ongoing content, improves the player experience every time. Man. I think it should either be Cyberpunk or Fortnite. Man, best ongoing game. This is hard. I didn't expect this to be as challenging. A lot of people are saying Genshin. Here's why I would vote. Oh, Final Fantasy XIV. There's been a lot of people that I've talked to that have been, like, not very happy with, like, the Endwalker content, the post content. They feel like it's super formulaic. I personally would vote for Cyberpunk 2077 if I was going to vote for any of these games. And the reason why is because Cyberpunk 2077 took a game that was a joke and turned it to not being a joke. That's why. Because, like, an ongoing, right? So, like, it's very weird to compare these two things. Because, like, whenever the game came out, it was horrible, right? It's one of the Hall of Fame video game apologies, right? But Fortnite came out, and it was fucking insane, and it's still insane. Genshin with Fontaine, I feel like it's good. Yeah, it's good. But is Genshin, like... I think like, Fortnite reinvented the game with, like, this old BR version. Like, the old one. They had 5 million concurrent players. Like, I'm not talking about 5 million people logged on. They had 44 million people log on in one day. That's nuts. So I think that Cyberpunk should win this. Just because they took a game, and I really respect. I'm going to explain why. I really, really respect a game that doubles down, improves the fixes, improves the game, and fixes the bugs. And they make a game, they took a game that was a joke, a meme, and they made it some real shit. So that's why I think Cyberpunk deserves to win it. But I think it's between Cyberpunk and Fortnite, personally. Genshin... I don't think Genshin can beat Fortnite. Like, Genshin's great, but I don't think it can beat Fortnite, man. Rather have a good game that gets better instead of a shit game that people are working on to make good. I understand your point of view, but I think that with Cyberpunk, because it's a very good game now, I think it makes it okay. Like, I would agree with you if they took a bad game and they made it okay, but I think they took a bad game and they made it incredible. That's the difference. So yeah, I would vote best community support. Ew, ew, ouch. Ooh. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wow. Ooh. Baldur's Gate 3, best community support. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 has done a lot for the communities, but again, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is game of the year. So I will never, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is game of the year, period. It's not even a question. So, like, I'm not going to be, like, voting for it or not voting for it, right? I'm going to be looking at the other 4. I think that it's between Final Fantasy and No Man's Sky. I would love to see No Man's Sky win because of how much they've added into the game for free. And I think that it's just, like, really great to give somebody like that a sense of support, you know? So I would say probably No Man's Sky, based off of, because, like, they've done so many updates. It's basically, like, imagine No Man's Sky is like Destiny, except for every single thing that you can buy on the store on Steam with Destiny, it's free in No Man's Sky. It's incredible the amount of work they put into that game. Baldur's Gate 3 people on Twitter are wild. Yeah, I know. And they're devs and, like, the people that work at the studio are posting all the time, too. You're right. Best independent game. I feel like it's Dave the Diver. Like, is it even a question? Yeah, like, I think we go with Dave the Diver, like, on Sea of Stars. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Dave the Diver was, like, Sea of Stars. I've played Sea of Stars before. I have. I played it on Super Nintendo. I feel like Dave the Diver was way more innovative. Dredge is really good. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play Viewfinder. I'm not sure about this one. Dave was more impactful. Yeah, I think Dave the Diver is the winner here. Personally, that's what I think. I'm not saying that's 100%, but that's my opinion. I think it should be Dave the Diver. Let's see the next one. Best independent game, all right. I'm so sad, like, Hollow Cure didn't get mentioned. That's so disappointing. Best debut indie game. Hollow Cure, yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna say it. I think Hollow Cure... Personally, I really like Halls of Torment because of the style. I love it. But I think Hollow Cure is probably, like, the best of that genre. I actually think it's probably the best one. Best debut indie game. As I said, I'm not sure about this one. I can't really comment on this. What's the first one? Oh, sorry, Cocoon. Yeah, it's Cocoon. Apologies, gentlemen. Hopefully you guys can see it there. Pizza Tower? I can't say. Best mobile game. I think Honkai Star Rail should win this, and it shouldn't even be close. Like, this should be a... Bro, this is an absolute blowout. It's not even a question. Why isn't Nikkei on the list? Yeah, what the fuck? Honkai clears... Yeah, like, all of these other games are a joke. Hello Kitty Island Adventure? What the fuck? No. Honkai Star Rail 100 fucking %. Absolutely. Nikkei is 2022. Oh, really? Oh, I forgot about that. Let's see here. Let's look at the next one. Best VR and AR. I have this one. I've never played this one, but I know it's this one. Yep, I've already decided. Right? Yeah. Naturally. Yeah, we all know this. Alright, next. Best action game. Oh, I'm so glad Remnant made it on the list. I'm so glad. I'm so happy to see this. Armored Core 6, though. I'm sorry. It's fucking amazing. Like, Remnant is also fucking amazing. But Armored Core 6 is even more fucking amazing. Yeah. Now, I would say that if Armored Core 6 wasn't on this, Remnant 2 clears by far. Like, by far, I think Remnant is the best action game out of these, besides Armored Core 6. Try new DLC on Remnant 2, it's out now. I've actually been playing through Remnant 2 off stream, so I can get caught up and do the DLC. I went through, like, I think I'm pretty close to the end of the game. And, yeah, are you guys sad about that? What? Oh, come on, I mean, I can't play every game all the time on stream, right? If it makes you guys feel any better, only did 2 bosses. Abandon us, stream it? Yeah, I know. There's a lot. You didn't even finish Armored Core 6? Well, I beat it once, right? I understand that there's more versions of the game. Yeah, Armored Core 6 is so fucking cool. Not gonna be Game of the Year. Armored Core 6 is too niche to be Game of the Year, realistically, right? But I think it absolutely deserves Best Action Game. 100%. But Remnant 2, absolutely, I think that, you know, it's very hard to compete with From Software, right? But Remnant 2 is also incredible. I would absolutely recommend buying both of them. Best action and adventure game. There's a part of me that wants to say Jedi Survivor was really good, but I feel like Tears of the Kingdom probably clears Jedi Survivor, right? Like, guaranteed. Like, I mean, Jedi Survivor was a great game. It was. Like, it's weird, like, because I actually wish that I didn't beat the frogs in Jedi Survivor, because mentally, whenever I beat the frogs, I knew that nothing else in the game would ever come even close to how hard that is. So I just quit the game. Straight up. I literally just quit the game after I beat the frogs. Because like, in my mind, I beat the game. Same? Yeah. But I think the game was great. I'd probably go with Legend of Zelda. But yeah, I'm not really sure. Let's see here. Oops, excuse me. I think Zelda probably should go with this. Best RPG. Again, not voting with Baldur's Gate. I think Baldur's Gate 3, I hope they make it to where you can't win. Like, I don't know. Like, would you guys want to see Baldur's Gate 3 win, like, 7 different awards? Or would you guys want to see, like, each game win an award? Yes? There's, like, I don't know. Like, I think it makes it more interesting if you can only win 1 award. I don't know. I mean, if it deserves it, it should win. And you're right. You're right. I mean, and the thing is, you can go back. Here's a great parallel to this, all right? Is that in 2003, which fucking movie won every fucking Oscar award? Lord of the Rings. And I think that was deserved. Yeah, Return of the King, Lord of the Rings. Yep. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe Baldur's Gate 3 does deserve to, like, you know, have Sven up there again. I can't. How do I hold all these awards? You know? So, I don't know. 11 Oscars? Yeah, exactly. Maybe they do that. And I will say again, like, not counting Baldur's Gate 3, I think Final Fantasy 16 should not win. Because there's no character customization or progression, and there's no multiplayer. I think Liza P should win this. And I'm just basing it off of, like, what their text is. Like, Final Fantasy 16 is a great action game, and it has some character customization, but I don't think it's as in-depth. Like, Lies of P innovated on a genre in a completely unique and new way with the way that weapons are designed in Fable Arts. And also with, like, the P organ. And I think that it deserves that. Baldur's Gate 3 is actual RPG? No, I'm not. I'm talking about besides Baldur's Gate 3. Obviously, Baldur's Gate 3 is the best RPG. We all know this, right? So I'm just thinking, like, besides that, I would go with Lies of P. Best fighting game. Nickelodeon? Street Fighter 6, in my opinion. I am an enjoyer of watching Street Fighter or fighting games. I am not an enjoyer of playing fighting games. So I would absolutely go with Street Fighter 6 because I think the game is just so great to watch. I think Mortal Kombat is confusing to watch. I think it's too complex. Street Fighter is way simpler to watch, and I think that it doesn't lose anything that Mortal Kombat has. See, everybody is giving me question marks, right? I'm speaking as a person who is a layman at both games. I can watch Street Fighter 6 and immediately understand what's going on. In Mortal Kombat, there were a lot of nuances to it that I didn't fully understand. And it took me longer to pick up on all of those things. So, from my perspective, and I think also Street Fighter 6 is just more interesting to watch. I think that the colors are more vibrant. The characters are more interesting. They're like... The characters aren't characters. They're like caricatures. Like, obviously, everybody knows the Mortal Kombat characters because Mortal Kombat is the most famous fighting game probably ever, right? I will say, though, Street Fighter has, like, I think the coolest characters. It does. I think it has the coolest fucking characters. Tekken? Well, I think that, actually, that's such a good question. I'm going to look it up right now. Google Trends. I want to see what the most popular fighting game is. Mortal Kombat 1. It's very hard for me to show. Street Fighter 6. Tekken. Video game? Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, Mortal Kombat is way higher. That's what I was saying. It's the most famous game. It is. There it is. Yeah, you're right. Tekken 8. Remove the numbers. No, it'll mess it up if I do that. Yeah, see? Past day. Oh, it's past day. Oh, excuse me. Let me change this. Past 12 months. Yeah. There it is. Street Fighter 6 is huge. Yeah, Tekken's not that big. I'm really surprised. Maybe it's like not being worldwide. Oh, you're right. You're right. Huh. I expected Tekken to be higher worldwide. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Flatlined. Yeah, it sucks. You guys want to... Let's check Soul Calibur. Oh, God. Okay, anyway, yeah, I think Street Fighter 6 is way better to watch. I like Street Fighter 6 way more, and I think it's the best fighting game. I understand Mortal Kombat's way more popular, but I think Street Fighter 6 is the best. There it is. Let me go ahead and move on. Best family game? I don't know. Like, maybe Party Animals? Like, I'm not really sure. Pikmin? Yeah, I don't know. Mario? Yeah, I can't really... I'm not sure. Sonic Sweep? Is it really? Alright, let's go to the next one. Best sim or strategy game? Oh, man. Dude, I used to play this back in the day. Holy shit. I hear a lot of good things about City Skylines 2, and I don't know about Pikmin. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I mean, if you put Pikmin in this category, Pikmin's like a little bit of both, so I'm not really sure exactly how you would, how you'd really compare the two. That's what I think. So, yeah, Fire Emblem for sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. If I had to say, I mean, I'd probably say between Cities Skylines and Pikmin, but I'm not really certain. Like, that's just basically a vibe check, you know? Next. Best sports game. Forza? Yeah, probably Forza, right? Like, I don't want to vote for either one of the... Like, I don't want to vote for EA Sports. Like, it's, like, bullshit. Yeah, I don't really care. Like, I'd say probably Forza. Best multiplayer game. Best multiplayer game. I don't think it should be Diablo 4. I don't know, man. Classic WoW. Yeah, true. Why don't you want to vote for Baldur's Gate 3? I already said, I'll say it again. I guess there's probably new people coming in. Because I already think that it's Game of the Year. And I think that it would be boring, at least for the sake of a conversational video like this, where we just say one game wins everything. I think that just for the sake of conversation, and because I think it's more interesting, like, let's talk about what else should win besides Baldur's Gate. Because, yeah, sure, Baldur's Gate probably should clean sweep all of these other games. Absolutely. Yeah, so it's not that I don't think that it deserves it. I'm just saying, like, besides that, I think it's just, like, it's such a clear outlier, and it's so much better, then it's just, like, it's almost like it's not even fair, you know? But besides this, I would say, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Diablo 4, maybe I'm thinking about it a bit more. Maybe Diablo 4 for best multiplayer game. I don't know. Maybe Diablo 4 does deserve best multiplayer. What multiplayer? Well, I don't know. I think that, you guys don't agree with that? Laggy-ass multiplayer? Okay, so this is why. The reason why is I think that outdoor multiplayer in Diablo 4 is actually quite good. And whenever it's not laggy, like, laggy is bad, but, like, I don't really think that's, like, intrinsic to the game, right? I've bet sometimes it's laggy, sometimes it's not. And every single time that I interact with another player in Diablo 4, it is a serendipitous relationship. Like, I gain and they gain. Like, there's always a win whenever you interact with another player. So that's why I would say that Diablo 4 is good. And also, like, I think that for casual Andes, Diablo 4 probably should win. Does that make sense? But probably Street Fighter? Yeah, I mean, maybe it could be Street. It's just such a different game. Baldur's Gate 3 is better for casuals? Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and move on again. Best adaptation. Recognizing creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. I heard a lot of things that were really, really good about Twisted Metal, randomly. I don't know if it's good, but I think The Last of Us... Are we rating the multiplayer aspects of the game or the game with multiplayer? I was going to say the multiplayer aspects of the game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Castlevania was goated. I didn't see the new season. I mean, I feel like culturally, The Last of Us was probably the biggest deal. Because The Last of Us probably did the most culturally. Like, everybody that went to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie was probably like 36 or probably at least 30 years old. And they're probably taking their kid to go see the movie, right? The Last of Us, I do think, like, expanded the scope of the people that were interested in, like, a video game movie. So I think maybe The Last of Us should deserve it. Does that make sense? Is that how it happened? Yeah, Edge Runners deserves a slot. Wasn't Edge Runners last year? It was? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I just recently watched Edge Runners. It was great. I loved it. Most anticipated game. I think probably Rebirth is the most anticipated. Yeah. I feel like Rebirth. Hades 2? I think Hades 2 is really popular. But I actually don't think Hades 2 is the most anticipated at all. I think it's Final Fantasy, and it's not even close. No Ashes, Dragon's Dogma 2. Oh, I mean, like, yeah, if that was on the list, it would just blow everything else the fuck out. Yeah, and I think also Grand Theft Auto 6 would even blow that the fuck out, right? Tekken 8, I don't really think anybody gives a shit about this. I'm sure some people do, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I think also, like, I don't think that this game is, like, really that big of a deal. Everything I saw about Star Wars Outlaws looks stupid. In my mind, it's between Hades 2 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I feel like if I had to say, probably Final Fantasy VII. Let's go to the next one. Content creator of the year. I really like Cypher, right? Well, no, he's huge for Fortnite. He's a great Fortnite content creator, and like, you know, we've even used like his studio before to do stuff with OTK. So like, I think Cypher does a lot of really crazy stuff. I mean, it's like, I think Cypher, in terms of like the kind of stuff he does outside of just making content, that would mean that he would win. Maybe Iron Mouse too. It's very hard for me to say. It is extremely hard for me to say. Can you tell us who they are? I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know Quackity used to do Minecraft stuff. I don't know what he does now. I have no idea who Spreen is, and I have no idea who People Make Games are. I have no clue. But yeah, I would say probably Iron Mouse or Cypher. Personally, it's my opinion. I think I always like content creator of the year, like, you know, it's kind of weird that like XQC, Mr. Beast, Kai, fuck, like, let me think, who else should be up here? Ebuy, me? I mean, I don't know, maybe me, right? I mean, I don't want to vote for myself, like, what the fuck, right? Like, I think Hassan should be up here. Because like Hassan does something that's like unique and different. I mean, even if you don't agree with what Hassan does, you don't like Hassan's opinions, I think you should be able to respect that like he's doing something unique. It's for gaming. I don't know. He's into politics. I mean, it's content creator of the year. Has made a positive, important impact in the community in 2023. So yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of weird, right? That like they don't have like more like. Personally, I would, if I was gonna vote for like who I think content creator of the year is, I don't even think it's a question. It's obviously Kai. Kai is obviously content creator of the year this year. 100%. And like, yeah, maybe Ebuy. And I think that like you could say Ebuy, yeah, for sure, right? And like, I don't think you're wrong by saying that. I'm just not part of that language group, so I don't understand and appreciate everything they do. But it should be, if it's not Kai, it should be Ebuy. He's not gaming though. Yeah, I mean, not everybody. I think most people aren't always gaming, right? People Make Games does amazing documentaries on YouTube. Maybe I should watch them. Seems like your old boomer fan base doesn't know who Kai is. Oh yeah, I get that. They went for safe options, yeah. After the New York incident, it's definitely not making the list. Yeah, but it's like, again, I mean, I don't really care about that. Let's see, next one. Best esports game? Alright. I want to say one thing about Counter-Strike. Is that Counter-Strike is the chess of esports. This game will be popular in 30 fucking years. It was popular almost 30 years ago. It is amazing. I think Counter-Strike is the best esports game to watch as a bystander. Like, if you don't know anything about any of these three games, you will have the best experience watching Counter-Strike 2. And that also leads me to, like, the next thing I was going to say about Valorant, is that because Valorant has so many different operators now, I think that Valorant is kind of running into the problem that Overwatch had, to a lesser extent, that it's hard to watch for people that aren't players. Like, I've watched Valorant clips on Twitter, and I don't even entirely understand what's going on anymore. And I do think Valorant, in a lot of ways, is better than Counter-Strike. Like, it's better to watch than Counter-Strike in a lot of ways. But I feel like probably League. That's actually what my opinion. I think it's probably League. I can watch League and I can understand what's going on very quickly. But exclusive tournaments, community support, content updates. No. I'm gonna be real. No, I don't think it's League. I think it's Counter-Strike. As I said, it's the chess of esports. Yeah, it's Counter-Strike. That's it. As I said, in 20 years, people will still be playing Counter-Strike and it will be basically the same game. Community support means League should lose. This is a popularity contest, and CS can suck on a fat one. Well, I think if it's a popularity contest, League or Valorant are going to win, right? Let's just be realistic here. No changes, only consistently. Yeah, exactly. Community support, LOL, Valve doesn't do shit. And that's the good thing. They don't mess anything up. They don't want to get their hand in the cookie jar. They're not trying to mess with everybody's stuff. They just let people do what they want to do, and it doesn't fucking matter. They win by doing nothing. So yeah, I would say Counter-Strike 2. Let me go to the next one. Best esports at Faker. Okay, let's go next. Best esports team. Let's see here. I have no fucking idea. I genuinely don't know. JD Gaming, people are very positive. Like, I don't really watch a lot of esports. So yeah, I mean, if you guys think that, then go for it. Best esports coach. I think this is great that they gave these guys a category. That's so cool that they did that. Everybody is saying Zonic. I mean, again, I'll take your word for it. I'm not really sure personally. I don't really keep up with a lot of this stuff. Next. Best esports event. Probably Evo or League, right? I heard a lot of really good things about Evo this year. That doesn't make it worse, right? I mean, I think League will probably win. But yeah, Starforge Malkaran, I mean, we just did that. And also, like, as popular as Classic WoW is, it's not even remotely as popular as, like, you know, the esports for, like, fighting games for Evo or, like, League of Legends. I mean, I wish. But that's just the way it is. That's the last one. So yeah, those would be my votes right there. Worlds, it's not even close. Yeah, I think probably this is which one's going to win, like 100%. Evo destroyed this year. They now have commemorative day in Las Vegas, and they overfilled the Bubble Dome. Yeah, I feel like that's also a big factor where, like, I think for community engagement and community, Evo probably should win. But overall, I think probably League would win. So yeah, in terms of, again, like in terms of like best game, like I think it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. Besides that, I also hope Tears of the Kingdom wins something. I also hope Cyberpunk wins something. Final Fantasy 16. I hope Armored Core wins something. I think Lies of P deserves to at least win one thing. I'm very positive about that game as well. Besides that, let me just go through a few of these. A lot of people liked Resident Evil 4. I didn't really play it. Not really sure. Diablo 4. I don't know. Maybe hopefully like next year, Diablo 4 will be a better game and it can win an award. Like Season 2 was a lot better than Season 1 and it was a good state for the game to be in. But like, I just don't think it's like, I don't think it's up there yet to be winning awards. Yeah, I don't think it should be winning awards yet. I hope someday it will.